Good evening all. Now with the cadaver in the prone position, we are now going to show you how to incise and remove the calvaria. You need to mark points above the supraorbital margin, above the auricle and at the external occipital protuberance. Join these points and mark a chalk line. Along the marked chalk line, incise the skull and remove the calvaria. So what you see now is a dura mater. The full brain covered with the meninges can be seen very well now. So this is how we remove the calvaria. This was done already for convenience sake and to save time. So we'll reposition it and show you once again how it was removed using a chalk line marked just above the supraorbital margin, above the auricle at the external occipital protuberance. Join these points and mark an oval shaped line, incise the skull along this line and remove the calvaria to expose the brain covered with meninges. The dura mater has been incised in the form of 4 quadrant flaps. We will now demonstrate the flaps to you. This is how the dura mater was incised in the form of 4 quadrant flaps. The brain with the arachnoid mater and pia mater covered is now clearly visible with the vessels intact. The next step will be to detach the bony anterior attachment of the falx cerebri from the frontal crest. It is being cut to sever the attachment of falx cerebri from the frontal crest and crista galli. After incising the anterior attachment of the falx cerebri, we can now visualize the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is further lifted using fingers and you can visualize optic nerve and internal carotid artery which need to be severed now to further mobilize the brain for its removal. The optic nerve is being severed and the internal carotid artery as well. This helps us to further mobilize the brain in the process of its removal. Now we are severing the oculomotor nerve and stalk of the pituitary gland to further mobilize the brain, and from the middle cranial fossa hook out gently the temporal lobes of both sides to gradually mobilize further the brain from its fossae. Now we have to mobilize the cerebellar hemispheres from the posterior cranial fossa, for which we need to incise the tentorium cerebelli. The tentorium cerebelli is incised along the superior border of petrous temporal bone, starting from its anterior end from the posterior clinoid process, then along the superior border of petrous temporal bone, going up to the posterior inferior angle of parietal bone, along the transverse sulcus, and finally in the midline up to internal occipital protuberance. By incising this way, the tentorium cerebelli completely gets detached from its bony attachments and the cerebellar hemispheres can be made out very well and can be mobilized easily. Now, the incision of tentorium cerebelli is repeated on the other side also, after which the cranial nerves that we see in the posterior cranial fossa, such as 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th cranial nerves are severed to proceed further. The vertebral artery is being severed on both sides. Next, the scalpel will be taken into the depth of the foramen magnum to sever the cervical part of spinal cord as a last step in the removal of brain. Once this is done, the brain can be removed en masse from the cranial cavity. You can now make out the entire brain in toto being removed from the cranial cavity after following all the above said steps. Just gently detach the dural folds from the hemispheres of the cerebrum and cerebellum. Leave behind the dural folds in the cranial cavity for further learning and for teaching and assessment purpose. The falx cerebri is being removed from the medial longitudinal fissure. The tentorium cerebelli is already separated. You can see it hanging from the cranial cavity, and the entire brain in toto has been removed now. Cerebrum, you can make out the cerebellar hemispheres. You can make out the lower part of the medulla that has been cut. Brainstem can be visualized nicely with the basilar artery and the cut vertebral arteries. The brain has been removed now. We'll just go through the dural folds once again. The largest of the dural fold is the falx cerebri between the two cerebral hemispheres. Next is the tentorium cerebelli, which separates the occipital lobes of cerebrum from the cerebellar hemispheres, followed by falx cerebelli that lies between the two cerebellar hemispheres. And the last and the smallest one is diaphragma cellae, in the middle of which there is a small aperture to allow the stalk of the pituitary gland that is being shown with the forceps now. So the diaphragma cellae showing the aperture for the pituitary stalk. We will now go through all the cranial nerves within the cranial cavity. So you have a crista galli and cribriform plate on either side with sieve-like openings showing the olfactory nerve filaments, followed by optic nerve, oculomotor nerve, trochlear nerve, trigeminal nerve, abducent nerve, facial and vestibulocochlear nerve as they are entering into internal acoustic meatus. 9, 10, 11 cranial nerves can be seen going through the jugular foramen. Then the last one, you can make out the hypoglossal nerve passing through the hypoglossal canal. The two main arteries in the cranial cavity of two different systems, you can see the vertebral artery, the cut ends of the vertebral artery within the foramen magnum, and close to the optic nerve you can make out the internal carotid artery. The two arteries which cater to the blood needs of the brain. So these are the structures that you need to revise within the cranial cavity once the complete brain has been removed. So this is about the removal of brain. Thank you. The brain that was removed has been completely cleaned and washed thoroughly. So what you see now is the complete brain with the arachnoid matter and pia mater still intact, with the vessels also. So the brain is made up of major subdivisions such as the cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem. The cerebrum is made up of the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobes, consisting of two cerebral hemispheres. Between the two cerebral hemispheres, there is a deep fissure known as median longitudinal fissure exactly in the midline, which is occupied by falx cerebri, the largest of the dural folds. The other subdivisions of brain are the brainstem, consisting of midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata. Then comes your cerebellum, consisting of two cerebellar hemispheres. What you can see on the undersurface of the brain is also a depressed area known as interpeduncular fossa. So what is being shown now is the interpeduncular fossa. So grossly, these are the major subdivisions of the brain. Hope it was useful for all of you. Thank you.